Good to have you here, Arden. Yeah, thank you. Look at all those lovely faces out there. Well, some are a little more lovely than others. Depends. As I look out, actually, it's interesting. I think back through all the faces that used to sit there in various places. For example, where William is sitting, there's actually the Shermans used to sit. I'm going back 50 years. I see faces of people every time I'm here. But it's good to see you. On behalf of our spiritual director, Reverend Barb, the trustees, all the members, the non-members, welcome. We're happy to have you here. We hope you experience today a little glimpse of the divine, that little bit of piece of divine that's within each of us, individualized as us. Some of us recognizing it more fully than others. Is there anyone here for the first time today? I know I see Julie's got a son and a daughter-in-law, I believe, from Maryland? Virginia. Okay, I'm sorry. The good thing is if you're a new person, anybody new here? Brand new? Okay. There's a lady up here. She's new. And the good thing is we don't ask for any money the first time, but watch us for the second. Okay. The opening prayer. We become still now. Turn to God within. Dear Creator, we open our minds and hearts to you now as we turn our attention away from external conditions and appearances. As we turn our attention away from external conditions and appearances. We all have them. Turn away for just this minute and seek your presence within. We come knowing that where two or more are gathered in your name, power and love are present. Feel that. Sometimes we say words and they don't mean anything, but let's hesitate for a minute. Feel that. We come for joy, for peace, for the affirmation of our oneness with you and with all creation. Thank you for each other, in whom and with whom we recognize our Christ self. Christ self. What's that mean within unity? It means that individualized expression of the divine that resides in each of us, whether we recognize it or not. We're here because of the inevitable longing in all the hearts of humanity to come home, and we enfold everyone in this present moment of grace. Amen. I think we've got a prayer chaplain. Which one's going to do it today? Bring up the prayer box. John, are you it? I guess you're it. The prayer box is being brought up today by John, one of our many prayer chaplains. Anyone can submit a prayer of gratitude or request for prayer in this box. Our chaplains locally respond with affirmative and loving care to all that is contained within. These are also shared with Silent Unity in Lee's Summit outside of Kansas City, Missouri, which is the home base for Unity worldwide. And there they're prayed for over 24 hours a day for 30 days. Unity was built on the power of prayer. Sometimes we say prayers and we don't feel them, but say them. As they used to say in Unity, fake it until you make it. Knowing someone is praying for us or with us encourages us to believe that the good is unfolding in our life. It frees us and moves us away from worry, opens us gratitude, making way for the highest good to manifest. I think at this point there's an Advent candle. No, it's John, I'm sorry. No? No Advent candle? Okay. I've got two sets of instructions here. I'm sorry, I'm confused. The bottom line is, I think we're talking about the daily word. Going to be read by Philip Beauchamp. We caught you just before you head to Florida, Phil. Good.
Good morning, everyone. Today's daily word is blessings. Blessings come in my life in the most unexpected ways. I'm blessed to live each day in the presence of God. As I turn within and quiet my thoughts, I open to God within. Grounded in this presence of wisdom, love, and peace, I feel connected with the divinity of all beings. In this awareness, I become newly aware of expressions of God everywhere. I feel blessed to behold nature's beauty, perhaps snow glistening in moonlight, or the sun warming the earth, and birds soaring across the horizon. I find joy in smiling faces. I hear the laughter of friends sharing simple pleasures. I enjoy the beauty of holiday decorations hung with care and appreciate the sacredness that they represent. Acts of selfless service show me God's love in action. I'm grateful for those blessings and for my infinite unfolding good. And the scripture reading for today from Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 7 is, "Blessed are those who trust in the Lord, whose trust is the Lord." Thank you.
Thank you, Philip. We're going to miss you and Adela. You're in Florida for a few months now. Okay, well, enjoy. And I think we have the Lord's Prayer now. Our Creator, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is done in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debt as we forgive our debtors. And leave us not in temptation, but deliver us from error. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen. We have an opening song. Yeah.
Good morning. Please join with me in singing "Go Tell It on the Mountain." It's number 260. It's hymn number 269. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. While shepherds kept their watching or silence flock at night, behold, throughout the heavens there shone a holy sight. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. While shepherds feared and trembled when low above the earth rang out the angel
It's a real pleasure for me to introduce our speaker today, Between Two Worlds, Steve Jarose, Reverend Steve Jarose. He's a longtime friend of Unity and a longtime friend of mine. We go back about 40 years to a bowling alley church he used to run. He spoke between the ball hitting the pins. Steve, looking forward to your talk.
Hello, everyone. Thank you once again for inviting me to be your guest speaker this morning. You know, I was sitting in the front and looking at this wonderful poinsettia, and there was a part of me that said, you know, it needs to be turned a little bit this way in order to be perfect. And then I remembered the talk, which says, everything is beautiful in its own way. When I'm in your company, I feel the vibration of love everywhere. It's easy to relax and be myself without being conscious of how I look or if being with you is good enough to meet your expectations. This feeling of welcome is not just from some of you. It's a spirit that envelopes this entire space. It draws people in with the unspoken energy that says, the divine in me greets the divine in you. If we were to sum up the essence of what unity stands for, to me, it would be just one word: unity. Unity is simply the realization that we belong together, loving one another just as we are, just as all life forces are, just as they are. Now, wouldn't it be magical if we could carry this loving vibration wherever we are? I mean, that's the goal. We seem to be living between two entirely different worlds. One is the everyday world of work, family, responsibility, and obligations, both to ourselves and to each other. And then there's the world of spirit, something we yearn for that seems foreign to this other reality. We try to measure up to some ideal, expecting the best from everyone all the time, yet quick to judge when we or they fall short of the mark. Now, when I mentioned to Stan that that the title of this talk was Between Two Worlds, Stan said, "Oh, Joel Goldsmith, living between two worlds." And I said, well, I'm familiar with Joel Goldsmith, but I never heard of that book or that title. And then I began to think a little bit. Some 40 years ago, a wonderful spiritual guide and counselor came to Rochester through a group called Spiritual Frontiers Fellowship. It was called, she had written a book, Where Two Worlds Touch. And it just made me think, wow, is this just coincidence that I'm thinking about this term? No, there is a wonderful consciousness that is being seeded in the planet. And it's being seeded in each and every one of us. This is the consciousness that says, you don't need to be separated from yourself or from one another. We belong together. So, meanwhile, how did we get to be where we are now? To be separated in this unnatural way. It seems to me that we've been conditioned from our earliest beginnings to be someone. We have to prove our worth by acquiring skills and talents that make us special in some unique way. Our ego has become so refined that it sets an impossible standard. We must be perfect in some ways while falling short of the mark in others. And we've set the same impossible standard for others. We compare, we compete, we judge, we gossip, and find ways to see ourselves as better than some, while striving to live up to expectations of what it means to be a good citizen. And you know what? We make great excuses for ourselves while letting others know they fall short of the mark, whether by a look or a remark, all under the guise of being helpful. It has a lot to do with power and how I rank within the hierarchies of good and bad, right and wrong, and giver and taker. Well, to me, that's how we got here. Now, how do we get out of this unhappy situation? Well, we live under the illusion that our spiritual nature is somehow distinct from what it means to be human. We live between these two worlds, finding it difficult to navigate the terrain of either one. Now, the truth is we've never been separated from our divine nature. The truth is that we live moment to moment in the present, without a past, without a future. We are creating the reality, our reality, each time a thought comes to mind, and each time we inhale and exhale. I like to think it's like a butterfly. You know, the butterfly goes through different stages. It's a larva. It then becomes a pupa and eats up all the plant greens that are around. Then it gets to be a cocoon and gets still. And then the butterfly emerges. Now, was it ever not a butterfly? Not according to spirit. Just like us. We're never not without our divine nature. Now here's a radical thought. Suppose we considered that we already are who and what we seek. Rather than relying on thoughts of the mind, which is controlled by the ego, suppose we listened more to our hearts. Suppose we brought more love into all that we experience. Our divine essence finds union whenever we bridge the heart and mind and restore to wholeness what was once separate and divided. How do we do that? Well, we slow down. I remember when I went in for a doctor's appointment, and the person who was taking my blood pressure and all the other stuff said, okay, relax your arm. And I said, my arm is relaxed. No, relax your arm. My arm is relaxed. So my arm was like this, and she said, okay, I'm going to relax your arm. And she pushes my arm down like this instead of like this. Oh, I had no idea that I wasn't paying attention. I had no idea. It takes practice to slow down, to let God in, to learn to listen, to let go. To let go of our needs and let Spirit take control. Our bodies are merely the outward expression of our true essence. Our bodies house the soul. Our souls are light infused. Our souls are radiant, joyful, overflowing with love. We are mistaken when we think our bodies are who we are. The body is what we see. The soul is much deeper. It's the heart of who we are. Joanna Macy, the environmental activist and Buddhist scholar, died recently at the age of 96. She speaks about the great turning that is occurring all over the world. It marks a shift from the current industrial age to a truly life-sustaining society. She says, quote, "The heart that breaks open can contain the whole universe." Isn't that what Spirit is telling us? In other words, we are never whole without each other. Merging two worlds into one. The world that was there all along. To be fully human has nothing to do with being perfect. It's about seeing one another through the eyes of the heart. The eyes of the heart recognize our divine nature and naturally draw it forth. The heart says, you're not alone. The heart reminds us that we are not separate entities. Instead, we are deeply spiritually connected to one another and all sentient life forms. It's not that difficult to let love flourish. All that is required is that we be willing to allow it to express itself without expectation or conditions. How willing are we to let go of our need to be right and let Spirit flow? Just get out of the way. Albert Einstein has said there are two ways to live. You can live as though nothing is a miracle, or you can live as if everything was a miracle. Getting out of the way means letting go. And we know that miracles simply mean removing the barriers that keep love from flowing. We make love visible in the present moment. Here, in this space, every space, with nothing left to strive toward or accomplish. To be willing is to be open to love's presence, knowing it's wonderful when we are in the presence of others who feel as we do. Here. Love replenishes our batteries for the week ahead. So let us be willing to align our free will with the divine in others, with the divine in us. Let's let our hearts open to love wherever we happen to be. Instead of controlling the situation, let it go. Instead of gaining the upper hand, let it go. Instead of lighting into someone, let it go. Try listening. Let your heart open to what lies beneath the surface. I'd like to quote with a close from Arundhati Roy. Another world is not only possible, she is on her way. On a quiet day, I can hear her breathing. May we breathe into and welcome the new day. A whole universe is breaking up for us to see. Thank you.
I just wanted to comment on Steve's talk. I often think that the primary reason we're here, socialization is wonderful, but for each of us to experience the divine in whatever way possible. For me, Steve's voice, not just his words, actually helps me get in touch with the divine. Thank you.
Let us sing together again. This is hymn number 268. What child is this?
Mm-hmm.
What child is this who laid to rest on Mary's lap is sleeping, whom angels greet with anthems sweet, while shepherds watch are keeping? This is Christ the King, whom shepherds guard
Please join me in preparation for today's meditation. Find a comfortable position in your seat. Close your eyes if you wish. Notice how your body feels and what might be distracting you from being fully present. Give your mind permission to quiet with some deep breaths. As you inhale, breathe in peace. As you exhale, let go of the busyness of the day and of the season. Be gentle with yourself. Allow the stillness of the moment to welcome and embrace you. Take a moment to remember the beauty of what it is to be human. We are divine expressions in our humanness. Much like the butterfly in its many stages of growth, our divine essence is always there. One stage is no less desired than another. Allow the sacred light that ever shines through us to come into your presence. Allow it to reveal our oneness with our Creator. As we meditate together, feel this sacred energy expands until it fills the entire space of our togetherness. Feel it enter every part of your being. Breathe it in. Let it be a reminder that we are never alone. We are always just one step away from being in tune with the infinite. It's a vast expanse of love, awaiting our willingness to open our hearts in oneness to it. Love is everywhere. Love has no boundaries. Love is who we are. We are the Christ consciousness expressing this unconditional love. It is known by many names in many traditions. Now imagine with me that you are about to receive a love letter from the Christ in you. It is a message you have long hoped for and you have known deep within, but have been afraid to accept. It is written very clearly, so clearly that you cannot avoid it. It is a reminder of who you truly are. As you take in this love letter, this message, allow it to penetrate the layers of guilt and shame that have kept you isolated and alone all this time. Let it resonate through the heart and all the chakras of the body. Allow it to cleanse you and restore you to the wholeness that never left. Let it become a perfect expression of all that you hold dear, just as you are. The validation of all you hold dear, just as you are. Filled with this light, slowly, ever so gently, bring this light with you as you come back to this space as a gift of love to all. It has never left you and never will. It is indeed who you are. And so it is.
Time for the offering. Say the prayer. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful. Thank you. Are you singing?
Upon the Midnight Clear is number 272 in our hymnal. Please join with me. It came upon the midnight clear, that glorious song of old, from angels bending near the earth to
But as you're being generous, recall that in giving, you're really opening the door to receiving even more in abundance of all sorts. So giving is a pathway to abundance. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you, John. Weekly announcements. Let's see. What have we got? Well, we've got Daryl's meditation class. Anything new on that front, or just it's continuing? We'll be here. You'll be here? Okay. Okay. Do you live here? It feels that way? Okay. Okay, good. Anyhow. What else have we got? Burning bowl ceremony. If you haven't been here for that, that's also very much a treat on January 4th. And I think, pardon? Oh, it's Wednesday the 31st. Okay, the burning bowl. It's the white stone on the 4th. So you want to be here for the burning bowl and then for the white stone. Okay. I should have been reading the directions, but I wasn't. Okay. White stone is January 4th. That's also a treat in Unity. It's very much standard. And I think we have a young man that we've seen before who's going to present that. He's over there nodding his head furiously. Prayer chaplains are available. They're a wonderful group of people. They've got their shawls on. So if you really want to stand with somebody in silence, do so. If you want to speak and talk and ask for some insight, do so. Anyhow, it's a service. The prayer of protection is usually done as sort of in a plural fashion. I'm suggesting we might take a look as I say it and you say it with me. You might even sort of dim your eyes, close it. Make it about you this time as opposed to we. So, the light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. I think that underlies part of my thing is I feel that the service for me is always an opportunity for me to experience in community, but for me to experience the divine within me. Prayer for protection we've done. It was written in 1941 by James Dillard Freeman, who was the poet laureate. It's become world famous, and hopefully it's meaningful to you. I use it quite frequently in my own life. Okay. And I think we're going to gather together, circle and circle. We're going to have to stretch. So stretch your arms out. Lynn, stretch those little arms out. Okay. Sarva. Bring it in closer. Bring it in closer. Okay. Aren't you about ready? Yep. We'll take our cue from you. everybody that participated. Thanks so much. Have a good New Year.